Today's video starts once again in Sweet Home, Alabama. I'm taking another drive through the state to see more roadside attractions. I'm starting out at this welcome center. I'm on Interstate 20 heading westbound, and I just left the state of Georgia. There's a quick peek at the picnic tables on the other side of the road from the welcome center. As usual, all of them are empty. What is this thing? I can't tell if it's a black bear, except in the torso area it looks like a green color. No idea what this is. Just like at another Alabama Welcome Center, there's this large marker stating Alabama. We dare to defend our rights. Now inside the Welcome Center, this is pretty nice. There's a lady in the middle of the room answering questions from people. Lots and lots of pamphlets and coupons and maps for various attractions in Alabama. People don't think Alabama has much to do, but that's not true at all. Alabama has mountains, beaches, forests, also some nice mid-sized cities, and lots of history here. Also, the dumping station is closed. I guess I have a trash deposit for RVs that's not operational today. I don't know how good the coffee is from this old machine, but you can get a piping hot caffeinated beverage for the low price of 75 cents for an 8-ounce cup and $1.25 for a 12-ounce cup. Ooh, also hot chocolate for the same prices. Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome everyone! My route today starts at Alabama's border with Georgia, and I end very close to Alabama's border with Florida. You would think I've seen everything in Alabama by now, but that's not true. Gonna be a great day. Let's go! Let's check out a map to see where I'll be going. I started at the rest area, which borders the state of Georgia. Then I head southwest to Childersburg and Sylacauga. Then I head south to a few cities until reaching Montgomery. I continue south and a little east toward a mystery town. Then I head to Troy and Fadette, and ending the evening at Enterprise. About 75 miles after that rest area is the town of Childersburg, population of about 4,750, and believed to have been settled by a crewman of explorer Hernando de Soto. I'm driving into Childersburg Cemetery. There is a rather peculiar story about one of the people that is laid to rest here, peculiar while he was alive and after he died. Childersburg Cemetery is a very large cemetery not far from the center of town. The cemetery spans probably 4 square blocks, not just in the section behind the arch, but also across the street. I'll pan around so we can see behind me. There's another large section of the cemetery across the street. It extends all the way to the shopping center just beyond the white wall. That's where I drove in. You can see how large the cemetery is. Anyway, the grave marker I'm looking for is not far from here. Maybe about 10 or so sides down this road. And here it is, between 2 grave markers for the same Cosper family. This is Pile of Rubble. This pile of rubble used to be the grave marker for Bill Cosper, which some say is haunted. The Cosper family has many markers in this general area, but here are the surrounding markers. J. Wesley and Martha Ann, an infant son of L.W. and E.H. Cosper, is the rubble of Bill Cosper's marker. The marker in front of the rubble is his daughter's gravesite. This is a really strange story. William Yodel Closper was sitting in his living room spinning wool when lightning struck the wool, setting it on fire. A month later, he sat on his front porch, and he was struck by lightning. He survived, but not long after, he was inside the house and was struck by lightning again, this time killing him. Closper was laid to rest here, and a few days later, lightning struck his tombstone. His family quickly had another tombstone put up, but not long after that, the new tombstone was struck by lightning and destroyed. Then the family put a stack of bricks next to the rubble, but lightning later struck the bricks. By my count, that's 6 lightning strikes. After that, the family decided to leave the rubble as is, and lightning never struck the gravesite again. Closper is now known as the human lightning rod. Even though lightning storms are common in Alabama, it's a 1 in 10 million chance to be struck by lightning twice, so the odds must be astronomical to be struck 6 times. Perhaps I should leave in case lightning strikes again. Now I'm about 10 minutes south in the town of Oak Ridge. Something happened very near where I parked. This marker mentions the Hodges meteorite landed on this property and was the first instance of a meteorite striking a human being. At 12:30 p.m. on November 30th, 1954, Elizabeth Ann Hodges was sleeping on her couch when the meteorite crashed through the house and struck her thigh. On the other side of the marker, it notes that as the meteorite fell toward Earth, it left a trail of dark smoke. Many people thought it was a plane that had crashed and exploded. The next day, another 3.5-pound black rock was found in the road, and it was confirmed to be another meteorite. The rock is now the Smithsonian in their Hall of Meteorites. So that mobile home right there is the closest to where the Hodges meteorite struck the woman on her couch. But that day, the 2 meteorites that fell, as well as others that may have burned in the atmosphere, are what they now call the day the stars fell on Alabama. About 10 minutes south in the city of Sylacauga, in front of this municipal complex, is a unique sculpture. There it is, not far from the main thoroughfare. Actually, there are a couple of sculptures, but the one I'm looking for is the one on the right that kind of looks like flames. This is a sculpture called Falling Star, and the marble came from right here in Sylacauga. The sculpture was created by Don Lawyer in 2009 to commemorate the Hodges meteorite that fell in 1954. Don Lawyer was visiting Sylacauga to go purchase some marble. When he returned to his home in Kentucky, he learned of the meteorite story and carved the sculpture. He sent a photo to the city of Sylacauga, who decided to purchase the sculpture. Note the base of the sculpture is installed on a slab shaped like a star. The sculpture is the only known monument dedicated to a meteorite strike. Sylacauga is known as the Marble City, as the marble beneath the region is considered to be the best in the world. The marble was used in many prominent structures, including the U.S. Supreme Court building. Sylacauga's predominant industry continues to be marble quarrying. In mid-April, the city holds their Magic of Marble Festival, which features many sculptures displaying their works of art. Continue to head south down the center of Alabama, which is more hilly than I thought it would be. Now I've reached the small town of Rockford, with a population of just 349 people. At the center of town is this painted mural, At the top right are various prominent places in the letters that spell Rockford. Starting with the first R, we have a historic church tower, then the Old Rock Jail, the historic fire tower, the logo for Cruise Drugstore, the water tower, a gift store located in a 100-year-old house, a cougar for the school mascot, and a horse-drawn carriage. Also on the right, an old car owned by Kenneth Shaw, who took care of the stray dog. When he came to town, he was called Fred, the town dog. Just a block away is the Old Rock Jail. This edifice was built in 1842. I think it's a museum, but I'm not sure if they're still conducting tours. Here's a marker next to the old jail. It was built with local stone and completed in 1842 at the cost of just $2,745. This jail was in service for over 90 years, closing in 1938. It later opened as a museum in 1973. Rockford is the county seat of Coosa County. The county name was derived from a Native American word, Kisha, which is believed to mean canebrake. This was a large Native American Creek Nation settlement. The jail is 20 feet by 40 feet and is the oldest stone jail in Alabama. I wonder if there have been any notorious criminals that have been a guest in this facility. I'm going to take a quick peek inside to see what it looks like. It doesn't really look like a museum, although there is a sign on the right that says Coosa County Jail Museum. Now it looks like it's being used for storage. This is definitely a well-constructed jail with bars on every single window, and of course those blocks are very thick. No way anyone is gonna get through those blocks. And take a look at the door. It's a very thick steel door. One more look at the entire jail, which has been pretty much unchanged since it was constructed nearly 200 years ago. Now behind the Old Rock Jail, I'm going to walk down this residential road. The property on the left is largely undeveloped, but there is something there I'd like to show you. I'm walking toward this grave marker. It says Fred on it. Remember the dog on the mural? Fred the town dog? This is where Fred is buried. In 1993, a stray dog who was very sick wandered into Rockford. The town took in the dog and gave him the medical attention he needed to get back to health. They named the dog Fred, and Fred made Rockford his new home. Fred became a celebrity when the town wrote a newspaper column on Fred's behalf. He was also featured on Animal Planet. Fred was a beloved member of the Rockford community until he passed away from an unknown animal bite just before Christmas 2002. Fred was placed in a large wooden box that was signed by nearly everyone in town and was laid to rest right here. The grave marker was donated by a Montgomery businessman the following year. Check out this bridge I'm going over. It has several of these arches on each side of the bridge. Reminds me of the Rainbow Bridge on Route 66. This is the Bibb Graves Bridge, built in 1931. This bridge will lead me into the state of Wetumpka. Wetumpka is a suburb of Montgomery. Look how nice this downtown area is. Lots of nice shops and is very busy too. The city, as well as the bridge you just saw, were featured in the 2003 Tim Burton film Big Fish. So I guess it's fitting it that there would be a catfish sculpture downtown. The sculpture is made from hubcaps from a number of Ford vehicles. The sculpture is named the same as the film, Big Fish, gifted by Collier Ford and created by artist Brett Yackel. However, the fish also represents Wetumpka's significant bass fishing industry. Shelley Whitfield from the Wetumpka Chamber of Commerce is a good friend of Brett Yackel and shared a picture of one of his catfish sculptures on social media. That got Mayor Jerry Willis' attention, who then got funding to purchase one of the sculptures from Collier Ford, who owned a Ford dealership in town. And that's how this hubcap fish sculpture became a part of the downtown Wetumpka art scene. And I have one more fun fact. One star of Big Fish is Billy Crudup, who went to high school at the same time as my father. The film also stars Ewan McGregor, whom you may know as a young Obi-Wan Kenobi. Anyway, now I'm getting back on Interstate 85 north for my next stop. I'm at Acme Brick, Tile, and Stone on the east side of Montgomery. The domain name, brick.com, that had to cost some money. Anyway, I'm at the world's largest brick that was created from other bricks. Look at it. It's a giant brick. This has to be great for advertising, especially off a busy interstate. This giant brick is 25 feet tall and was considered the world's largest brick until 2007, when a larger brick in Texas was created. The brick is hollow, and I believe it helps support the Acme Brick sign. Let's look at the inside. Nothing really earth-shattering, basically. The brick is surrounded the signpost supports. Acme Bricks has pretty much any type of brick you could want. They have bricks specific to fire pits. Also, this nice tile you put inside or outside your home. Also, brick sidewalks. But this giant brick is definitely designed to catch your eye. If you want to see this giant brick, it's just east off exit 11, off Interstate 85, and it's on the frontage road that runs just south of the interstate. I still have a lot of ground to cover, so it's on to the next stop. Now I'm pretty much in the middle of nowhere, probably about an hour south of Montgomery. This structure might be an old general store. It's been in pretty bad shape for a while. I bet that porch roof probably came down years ago. An old painted mural for Royal Crown Cola. Look at the inside. Shelves along the right wall, old cabinets that could have been freezers or refrigerators on the left side. This kind of looks like a very small grocery store. Another structure across the street that also looks uninhabited, but I'm not sure. There are some houses that are occupied though. And to serve those residents that do live here, this is a relatively new fire station. It's a pretty good size too. So what is the name of this place in very rural Alabama? Welcome to Smut Eye. Yep, Smut Eye. Definitely a unique name for sure. According to legend, Smut-Eye got its name when men would play checkers or cards, or just hang out at a local blacksmith shop, and then come home with soot or smut in their eyes. Smut has a very different meaning today, so the blacksmith story makes sense why this town is named Smut-Eye. Alright, on to my next destination. I'm now at Troy University behind Rushing Hall. This is a really beautiful campus. Alabama sure knows how to create beautiful colleges. Anyway, at Troy they have some interesting sculptures around that amphitheater down the hill. The university probably holds some outdoor performances down there. There's a pretty big stage, and there's so much lawn seating all around. The first set of sculptures is along this walkway, just below the minivan. I reached the first set of sculptures. There are dozens of sculptures featuring what looks like soldiers in varying positions. You can't go up to the statues, otherwise an alarm sounds. This marker says these are kneeling archers, and they are heavily armored and ready to use their crossbows in battle. The position of the bun in their hair displays their rank. Behind the kneeling soldiers are standing archers. They are not as armored, but are in standing formation with a look of concentration on their faces. This marker mentions that terracotta warriors are placed in rows of 4 behind a formation of chariots. All these statues are replicas of the ones found in China. The originals were created in 210 BC. When I first got here, I thought these might be Trojan soldiers to tie into the city and university name of Troy. But obviously, that's not the case once I saw them up close. There are 2 other sets of terracotta soldiers around the amphitheater and the lake. I'll walk around real quick and show you. These soldiers look a little different than the others. They also have more distinctive hairstyles. The marker reads these are generals, and they are the highest ranking officials in the Terracotta Army. What I thought was a hairstyle was actually a winged cap to indicate the rank. A quick view of the lake that is directly behind the amphitheater. There's a short bridge going across the lake that will take me to the last set of soldiers. These soldiers have a different function, and they'll have their own distinct dress and hairstyle as well. These are charioteers. They are responsible for protecting the army's equestrian force. The center chariot holds the reins for 4 horses and is flanked by these charioteers. A close-up of these charioteers. The front row probably has the reins to a horse in their left hand and a weapon in their right hand. This area I just walked around is Janice Hawkins Park, named in honor of the First Lady of Troy University. In addition to benefiting the educational quality of Troy, she insisted on having a beautiful campus. The park is overlooked by the International Arts Center, and what I missed is the other side of this white dove. It looks beautiful from this position, but the other side shows the dove's face is wounded. 5 minutes south of the university, and on very busy Highway 231, is the Pike County Cattlemen Association building. In front of this is a bowl made from many bands of steel. The steel bowl is attached permanently on a trailer, so it can be transported to various functions like festivals, parades, livestock auctions, and rodeos. At all other times, the bowl is parked in front of the Cattlemen Association building. The sculpture was created by Larry Godwin, who lives in nearby Brundidge. Larry Godwin must be a sculptor with great attention to detail. As you can see, this bowl is anatomically correct. And sure, why don't I just show you the rear of this bowl? Might as well give you the full 360-degree view for your viewing pleasure. Larry Godwin's brother Ronald is also a sculptor. Let's head to Brundidge where they live and check out some of Ronald's sculptures. Brundidge is about 10 minutes south of that giant bowl. I'm across the street from a Piggly Wiggly. On my side of the street are two very unusual metal sculptures created by Ronald Godwin. The first one is Scorpion from Fukushima. I can kind of see the scorpion, but it definitely looks like a giant mutant form now. The other one is world-renowned Strider from Chernobyl. This looks like some weird mutant walking fish that's trying to breathe. The sculpture was created not long after the Chernobyl disaster in 1986. In an interview, Godwin displayed this piece in Manhattan, even though the city didn't allow it at first. Getting up close, you can definitely see the message Godwin was trying to convey when he created this sculpture. Back to the first sculpture, the Scorpion from Fukushima. This is in response to the 2011 earthquake that caused the nuclear disaster in Fukushima, Japan. Again, you can clearly see the message being conveyed with this newer sculpture. These two sculptures are permanently on display at Ronald Godwin's Sculpture Park near downtown Brundidge, not too far off the busy Highway 231. Got a couple more stops left and it's getting dark, so let's go. Now the community of Fadette, not far from the Florida state line. I couldn't find a population count for this community, it's that small. But if you're a fan of old gas stations that are restored with this classic sign, here you go. Looks like this gas station is only partially restored with some red paint on the first door. For classic sign fans, the sign has an old American Oil Company logo on it. The company might be better known as AMCO. There's a working gas station in town, and take a look at this painted mural. Welcome to Fadette, Alabama. Delicious and refreshing. Look at that guy getting ready to drink this big glass bottle of Coke. He's wearing the University of Alabama Crimson Tide hat. So have a Coke and roll Tide. I've got time for one more stop about 20 minutes away. It'll be dark, so I hope the video turns out okay. I'm in the middle of downtown Enterprise. It might be too dark to tell, but at the center of this busy intersection is a statue of a woman holding up a Boll Weevil? Yep, a Boll Weevil. The city of Enterprise celebrates the contributions of the Boll Weevil. In the early 20th century, Enterprise's economy was dependent on cotton production. However, a major boll weevil infestation nearly wiped out all the cotton crops. So instead of growing cotton, the farmers switched to peanuts. Not long after this, This part of Alabama became the highest producer of peanuts in the entire country. And since the switch to peanut harvesting, Enterprise has celebrated the Boll Weevil almost as a city mascot. I'll show you another example of how Enterprise reveres the Boll Weevil. Finally, I'm at a McDonald's, still in the city of Enterprise. But check out Ronald McDonald. Ronald McDonald's in the shape of a Boll Weevil. Wow. This does look really creepy. It's like a nightmare Ronald McDonald. I guess being a creepy Boll Weevil has one advantage. Creepy Boll Weevil Ronald McDonald has 4 arms and hands, so he can carry your drinks and fries in a Happy Meal box. The locals here in Enterprise have their own cute name for the statue, Evil Ronald McWeevil. Apparently there are 26 Boll Weevil statues including this one. This brings the odd adoration of the Boll Weevil to a whole nother dimension. This weird statue was introduced on March 31st, 2022. There's only one McDonald's location in Enterprise, so search for it on Google Maps and plan a trip to see Evil Ronald McWeevil for yourself. And that's it for another great road trip through Alabama. I'm always planning for road trip adventures, so I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!